Welcome everyone to the Wednesday, August 9th Water and Sewer Commission Board meeting. I'll open that up now to public participation. As I see no one from the public, we will delve into our agenda per Commissioner Green's request. We will move up our approval for the timber sale for Tom Gilman to address the commission.
Well, thank you so much for having me down. The timber sale that you approved this spring, we've got marked and tallied and ready to put out to bid. 131 acres east of Butler Pond, north of Buckby Road, that area. I shared with Bill the expected value that we would get. Hopefully we'll get, I'm conservative like the last one. And we'll be sending this out to about 40 potential bidders, mills, buyers, loggers. And with approval today, I would get that in the mail. We'd have a showing, timber showing on August 24th, and bids would be due to me September 5th in the morning, and you have a meeting September 5th in the afternoon, so you then present the recommendation.
Is the showing on the 22nd or the 24th?
I changed it to the 24th due to our
Okay.
scheduling.
So it's Thursday the 24th.
Yep. It's mainly pine, white pine, red pine, and spruce, very little hardwood, and that was intentional because hardwood prices are still very depressed, and pine and other softwood are moving quite well at good prices. So we'll take advantage of the market for everyone's benefit.
Okay. Any other questions? Do I have a motion for approval?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Tom, thank you very much.
Could I add one
Go ahead,
additional thing?
sure.
In the so many past years, we've been treating Japanese knotweed. It's an invasive species.
Yep.
And I came down early this morning and took a spin around, and some of those same places that we've been treating it in the past, it's come back. And we stopped because we thought we had eradicated it, or it was covered by native vegetation. And I'd like to get permission to, as we have in the past, contract with a licensed herbicide applicator. His fee would be for the day of time to run around and do that would be $500, $600 at max. You can let me know in the next week or two if that's acceptable.
Okay.
And we can go on from there.
All right.
But I recommend it's something that we should do for the small cost. Try to keep that stuff out of the forest and whatnot.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For moving me up. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right. All right. We'll move back to the agenda as it's written, and we'll go to stormwater moment. Hopefully everybody had an opportunity to look at their paper that was in the agenda regarding the water sense equipment as it pertains to EPA and how they are recommending these new water saving devices for sinks, showers, bathroom faucets throughout the house. They say they can use 20% less water and perform as well, if not better, than the standard models. You speak to about how 36 states are expecting to have, drought conditions or depressed water levels. They say that consumers may be able to reduce their bills by as much as 30% by using some of these water sense labeled products. And they're offered in a bunch of different marketplaces, but they need to have the WaterSense label, make sure that they meet all of the EPA's criteria. So, that said, any questions? Okay, with that, we'll move on to building issues. There was one within your packet, and I asked Adam Kelly to come in and speak to that because he's been really the one that's dealt with it since the inception, since the one first called. I know,
Yep.
I think you said you spoke to Commissioner Green.
I did, yeah, I briefly spoke to Commissioner Green about it. So, we've been kind of going back and forth for the last year or so with this lady about her transmitter. So back in last March of 2022, her transmitter actually had failed. So we had estimated her reading, I sent her letters, I informed her that it needs to be changed out. We have to do an estimated reading since it didn't read. And she assured me she currently resides in Virginia. So she said, she assured me that she would be back before the end of the quarter. So I said, okay, we'll hold off on the non-meter fee, and she never called, she never set up an appointment. And then the following quarter, it actually read, which kind of indicates the battery, it was starting to go. These transmitters are 20 plus years old. So the batteries in them, sometimes they'll work, sometimes they won't. The next 2 quarters, it actually read, and then the following quarter after that, it didn't read again. So I reached out to her. I said, your transmitter has failed again. We need to set something up. She said, I'm currently in Virginia still. I said, are you going to be back before the end of the quarter? She said, I will be back before the end of the quarter. So again, we waited on her, and she never called, she never set up an appointment. So the last quarter, I think it was March of 2023, it failed for a second consecutive quarter. So I said, okay, I'm going to put the non-meter fee on. This is 2 consecutive quarters that's failed. It's obviously not going to read again. So she called. I had about a 45-minute conversation with her, and she gave me, she's an elderly lady. She's in Virginia. I said, well, there's a lot of things we could do. She said, I'm on a fixed budget. I can't really afford this. I said, well, we can turn your water off at the street. That'll take off your usage charges. She said, well, I'm going to be coming back at some point to live there, so I don't want the water off. I said, well, we have the New York State Water Assistance Program. I said, if you can apply for that, they might be able to help you out with your bill. She said, no. She's like, I live in Virginia. I'm not going to even qualify, so I don't even want the information. I said, there's nothing else I can do. I said, I can pass it to the commission, but I said, we're going to have to keep that fee on until it's, the transfer is updated. So we tried to work with her. I tried to give her all of her options. I tried to do the best we could, but this is like over a year now that we've been going back and forth about this transmitter. I told her it's a 15-minute thing, and we would be done. If you have a friend, a family, somebody that could just let us into the house so we can change it out. There's nobody that can, only her has access to the house, so we're kind of out of options here. I've tried to give her all the options we can possibly work with her with, and she just, there's nothing. I mean, no matter what we do, I shouldn't say an excuse, but it's an ongoing thing with her. So she has requested that it's taken off for a 3rd time. So I'll reach out to you guys, and
Has it been removed twice already? The fee?
The fee?
It has?
Yes.
How much is the fee compared to the regular
$225.
it's $225.
$25.
Yeah, only because when we do an estimated reading, we have no idea what was actually used in that quarter. And we actually got a gentleman about a year ago that had a water leak and his transmitter had failed, and he didn't update it. In the following quarter, when we did change it out, he was actually well above what we estimated his reading was. So it's kind of essential that we get it changed out just so we have an accurate reading of what is actually being used.
$25.
$220.
225.
Oh, 200.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuel's
okay.
360, 360.
I'm missing a significant plea or story on her side as to why this can not be remedied for so long. I'm not seeing it. This seems like way more than I would think a municipality should be expected to do in working with a resident. And this isn't a resident if they're living in Virginia, and probably not the purview of this board, but, you know, an empty house for that long a time. You know, homeownership has responsibilities, unfortunately, and lucky this isn't a burst pipe that's spitting tens of thousands of gallons into the basement or something, or, yeah, this seems like the due diligence of trying to work with has been more than fair and more than done, and it's time to reconcile, in my opinion.
Yeah, I believe that Adam's gone above and beyond
Yep.
trying to, accommodate this ratepayer.
All we gotta do is actually get in there and replace the meter, right?
The transmitter, right?
Transmitter, it's not
Yes,
even a meter.
Not even the meter?
It's just to throw it out there for, be the devil's advocate, would it work? We gave her 30 days from today to get the thing fixed, or pays the whole thing?
Sure.
I mean, I just think she's older than lady, I'm trying to squeeze
Yeah,
her.
it was gone over the board.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with just, denying the whole request, but I don't know whether we,
I'd do a 30-day, because I
I'm
don't
just-
think it'll
I'm
do
just
anything,
reaching
but
out, trying to-
we can have done it, and
Well,
then,
then she can either send a key up to somebody she knows, so they
Somebody's
can get
gotta be
in,
around
or,
here.
you know,
Well,
or
yeah.
whatever, it's up in her, put the ball back in her court.
Yeah.
That's why I tried to reiterate to her. I said, it's like 15 minutes. You have a friend, a family, anyone that just could give us access to the property. Well, we just go in quick and change it out. I mean, it's not like it's a long drawn out thing. It
Yeah.
tops 15 minutes.
would we access the property without some agent on her behalf? Okay. So you couldn't mail a key to us?
Well, that creates a whole
Yeah,
you don't
other
want that
issue.
for liability
Yeah.
issues.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we've done
If you
everything.
did something like that, you'd wanna have a camera there and record it.
Right,
You know,
yep.
I mean, it's
So-
up to you, Chris, I just throw another point of
No,
view
I-
up there, I don't,
I'm not so sure it'll matter, but I'm
I
all
know,
about
but-
giving one more, 30 days is fine.
Is everybody, Peter, everybody
could
good
we,
with it?
could we get some kind of legal document sent to her?
What's that?
We get a legal document, at least attempted.
I would just send you can just do a letter that says, the board has, considered your request. You have 30 days to allow somebody in to fix the transmitter. If you do, we'll erase the non-meter fee. If you don't, you're gonna get hit with the non-meter fee for both this quarter and the next quarter, because we're coming up, that 30 days is gonna be up right right before the end of the next quarter,
So we'll know.
right? Because 9/23
Yep.
would be the next reading.
Yeah.
So she's gonna,
That okay with you? I mean, you're the one that's been chasing it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm more than happy to give her another opportunity. Every time I've reached out to her, she seems to have just a reason why she can't make it back or why somebody can't get in there. But 30 days, I mean, if we're gonna give her one more opportunity, I'm perfectly
Well,
fine
not
with
setting a
that.
precedent.
I don't think so. I mean, the board has already got, a policy of giving people a break, taking into consideration their economic status and other things. So, I mean, I think, she's already been given a break with 2
Twice.
meter fees reduced, but that's fine.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like she's got a great historical use of water anyway.
I think the house has been sitting vacant for so long, and like Chris said, I mean, the house has been vacant for as long as I've been a dispatcher. I mean, I started in 2021, and this is when this started. So this house has just been sitting vacant. And I think there's nobody checking on this house every couple of months to make sure that the basement's not flooding, or I said,
Is the
next
lawn
time
mowed?
someone checks on the house, can we just
Is it-
follow them in and?
Good point.
Mm.
Somebody mowing the lawn?
You know, that's what I mean. I mean, somebody's got to be doing something with this house.
I'll have to take a run by.
Is there, are her property taxes up to date? Anybody?
I'm not sure. That would be more the controllers.
I could check on it.
I could look it up.
You can look it up online.
Yeah, I can look it up.
I do feel good about how amenable we would be, I think. It doesn't seem like we're just like a strong hand of some governmental thing punching a citizen in the face. I feel like Adam's gone well out of his way to make sure that this isn't something that ends up in her lap, it can't be a 95.5% relationship, you know, they do some 50/50.
Exactly.
So that's,
Well,
I do feel nice about that. I think we've done some good stuff for quite a while.
Yeah.
The city as an entity.
Well, if she doesn't do it within 30 days, just tell her we're gonna shut her water off, regardless, you know?
Right.
Unless the
That's-
property
that's
taxes aren't
really-
paid either, then
That's the only recourse we have, right? Technically.
If you shut our water off, should that still have to pay the,
Yep. Or somebody, if I'm saying if the taxes aren't paid, then maybe that's a different wrinkle too. If things gonna go up for taxes or gonna be,
Warren County doesn't list delinquent
Doesn't list it,
taxes on their
okay.
drain.
let's just do our thing and let them,
Okay, so we'll go ahead and
that okay with everybody?
contact her and tell her, you know, from today, it's 30 days from tomorrow.
Did you said that we should send her some sort of certified mail or legal document that says, so we have proof that she's actually been, she's been notified that she has 30 days to resolve this? Or
I would
can we
send
just
her,
phone
I would
call?
send it regular mail and certified mail, but not return receipt requested. Nobody signs for mail anymore because whenever you get a certified letter and return receipt requested, it's never good news. So when we try to serve people, even through the court system, when I have to serve somebody by mail, we can't do it return receipt requested. I mean, we can, but there's no point in it. We get them all back 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Nobody signs for them.
We did as well. We were sending the transmitter letters when they had the non-meter fee. We were sending them certified mail, and we would just get all the green cards back. But we
Yeah.
no one ever signed for them. No.
Well, I think, I don't know.
Send it regular and then, certified, but,
Okay.
I mean, you must have, is her Virginia address on here?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take care of that. Any other?
Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We have another, so we'll move into resolutions. For approval of the minutes from the July 3rd, 2023 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Approval of the warrant.
I got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
On page 3, oh, it's page 5, sorry. Compressor, about halfway down, air compressor, service, 3,900 for service and air compressor.
Yeah, we had a failure on a Saturday of the compressors up at the water treatment plant. So it was an emergency call-in.
Okay.
So that's what that was, and whenever you call somebody in on an emergency, you're paying premium rates. And unfortunately, it was like the week before the regular PM, a hose had come off the compressor, and that's what caused it.
Okay. And then page 5, the first one, Edward J. Prescott, riser, what is riser for water shut-offs?
Water shut-offs and manhole covers and things like that.
But-
So especially, we order them now to keep up with the paving.
oh. So you're gonna pave the road too?
Maples, there's a bunch of roads that are gonna get
Yeah.
paved. They start on Maple Street's the first one in
Doing
their
that.
schedule.
You're doing that today, I think.
Yeah, and those risers are so that we bring everything up even with the street.
Expensive, huh? And one more.
Yep.
On page 12, Troy Belton, the first one, Troy Belton. What is the mounting kit? What is it? $13,000.
Chris, do you know that one?
I don't know, I didn't hear what it was.
Troy Belting, on page 12, that first one, $14,686.
Oh, that's the rotor reducers for the RAS project.
Okay.
We're buying the parts ahead of time.
Oh.
So we're gonna reduce from one size pipe to another size pipe, and we're just buying the parts to get them in here now, so we know we have it before we start the project.
And those are specialty items and.
We're talking, just 12-inch pipe, down to this 10 or 8-inch pipe.
So they're
pricey.
high flow, high pressure.
Yeah, okay.
And what that does is it goes between two different sized pipes. It takes a lot of the stress and vibration out.
Oh, okay.
We're just trying to get ahead of the project so we know we have stuff in-house.
Yeah.
That way we're not delaying the project and paying more because we're doing that increment stuff.
Yeah.
So we're staying ahead.
All right, thank you. Okay,
And that's for 3, right? Correct,
Yeah.
Chris?
that's it.
Okay. Any other questions?
I just have one on, well, 5, I don't mean to stick my nose in, the road crew hydration, I'm very much for that, the bottom one.
Yeah.
But it said UniFirst First Aid, but did somebody like drop? Is
No,
that-
no, that's who they bought it from.
Oh, okay, it's, okay. I was kinda like, we
That's
gotta
who,
examine
that's who
how high
does
we're
our,
pushing people, or?
that's who
what?
does our uniforms and that's who does our first aid kits. And part of that, they ordered their hydration kits through them.
Okay, okay. I thought we had to like take it easy a little bit on poor road crew.
Make a motion to approve the warrant.
Second?
All in favor?
Second.
Thank you. Approval to scrap antique parts up at the old barn, water department barn. Well, Jason and Rick and Don both went up and looked at all of these valves. Obviously, we can't use anything with lead in it anymore. So a lot of the stuff with old antiquated valving that cannot be used in our system anymore. Some of it's very old and wouldn't be used anymore anyway. And, probably was stored up there, who knows how many years ago, and was reordered several times since then. So, and you know, obviously with everything, modifications have been made. So these are materials that we can live without, and it's just basically taking storeroom. So we're trying to get some of that stuff up there cleaned out so that we can use it for storage for other materials.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Thank you. Approval to purchase the RAS pumps. Come before you before, this was part of the budget, it's included in the budget. The monies are within the budget. So what we're looking for is an approval to go ahead and purchase them. We have an agreement with the pump manufacturer that will pay for them over the next 3 years. So one will come out of this budget, one will come out of next 224, and one will come out of 225.
What is the interest on the payments to that?
4%.
4%?
It wasn't listed here. No, sorry.
That was my only wondering as well.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Moving.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay, looking forward to E, award of the installation of the RAS pumps. We had a bunch of manufacturers come in. I think we had 4 bids, 3 or 4, 3 bids for the installation. Adirondack Mechanical was the low bidder. They've done work for us before. They're competent, so we don't, we feel good about approving them and their installation of the RAS pumps. And this is a one-shot deal.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yep.
Aye.
All right. We've already done the timber sale, so thank you for that. Discussion, as most people know and seen or read in the paper, we've had several 30 water calls over the last, like, not this week, but the previous 2 weeks. Initially, we had seen a large increase in flow overnight went up for about 800 gallons a minute for about 45 minutes, then stopped for about 15, 20 minutes, then one for another 15 minutes, then stopped for about a half an hour, and then one for another 15 minutes. And right after that, we started to get the water calls. And as everyone knows, when we do our hydro flushing, whenever we get that large volume use through, it starts to stir things up within the pipe. So we believe that was the cause. We don't know who used it. We called Finch, we called the cement company, we called Ames, and I believe there was one other company we called to see if anybody was using anything. No one admitted to it, but they were. But you know, it wasn't a water main break, so the water's going to be accounted for somewhere.
You'd
So
see
someone
that in
used
the
it.
next billing cycle, right?
We could probably, if we see it, see if anybody has a huge increase. But
Was it localized, Bill?
we can't tell that in our system. We
You
have no
can't.
way of telling where it was used yet. Maybe in some of these improvements we're gonna do, that could give us, because I know Councilman Lappin also asked us about, you know, do we monitor our pressures throughout the system, and we have no way of doing that either without, you know, putting a pressure gauge on a hydrant and opening it up to see. So we've dealt with that, and it's aimed at every occurrence that we would go and talk to the people, and within roughly a day, maybe a little more than a day, everything would clear up. So similar to what happens.
How much
with
were they
fire.
using?
Like 800 gallons a minute.
800. Wouldn't the fire department doing some?
There was a flow test done too, but that
I mean,
we
they
saw
weren't-
we saw
They were
that.
down at East Field pumping some. you know.
We saw that. We asked, you know, didn't seem to be anybody. And this was, we could track the time on our SCADA. So this was in the early morning hours, like
Yeah, it wouldn't be-
2 a.m. or something.
This was a fireman.
Yeah.
wasn't
But no, and we look at that, and usually we know when there's a fire. So
it?
so everything has seemed to calm down. Some of the other ones that we thought may be attributed to some of the construction that's going on. You have the gas lines being put in, you have the sidewalks being put in, and you have all the compaction going on. So that could stir up a little bit, so we were contemplating that. You know, I even got a call on vacation on a Saturday in between my weeks from Chris Harrington from Queensbury. He lives at 38 Grant. He had dirty water, so and the same thing. Next day, I talked. You know, we text back and forth, and you know, his was
I
cleaned
never
up.
got any at my house.
Did you?
Yeah, it's
Did
stirred
you?
up
I
a
didn't
little
read
bit.
that.
I turned it on in the morning, it
Yeah.
looked like tea
I've got
coming
filter
out.
also too. So
Yeah.
I checked that.
Yeah, I was like, well,
Well,
I
the
think we
same
probably
thing.
get enough calls
I don't
about
know if
this
anybody
right
saw
now.
the press releases. If you guys do get that, let us know, because this way at least we can try to see if there's a pattern or what's going on.
Right.
And it didn't seem to be that we had any pattern, because it was all over the city. It wasn't just one
It
area.
was
Mostly though, I was on
It was
the
dirty?
Western
part of
side,
the
it was, yeah.
We had nothing on Warren Street or down like in this area, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it pretty bad at my office on Sherman.
Okay.
Did
I
you?
didn't have anything in my house.
I didn't either.
That's
Yep.
cool. I never.
I live on Burn and this lives on Raymond, so.
Mhm.
I
it was-
got an Orange Street that's down the road now.
Did you have any issues?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, a little bit, you know.
Okay.
I just thought it was especially bad, halfway reservoir, with the 2 days a month we.
Didn't
spoke on
coincide with that, though.
Because sometimes that can.
Yeah, and
be a
usually
little
that's,
different, but
usually
a lot
that's
different.
taste and odor. It's not,
Right.
you know, color.
Right, right.
Because
There had to
usually
be
have.
somebody using it, right? Because you had a leak, you'd know if you.
Yeah, no,
right
if
away
we had a
if you
water
see
main
it
break,
happen.
if we had a water main break, it wouldn't stop. You know, this turned on, turned off, and turned on again, turned off, turned on, it's like
It's a
three
lot-
different
it's
times.
a lot of water.
It is an awful lot of water, so we'll try and look. So,
Swimming pool?
I was just gonna say, somebody filling a pool from a hydrant in the middle of the night?
for 45 minutes at 800 gallons a minute. That's a,
The pool's a lot
that's an
deeper
Olympic
now.
sized pool.
Pull the bottom right out of it.
So that, just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention in case anybody comes up to you and says anything. And we are looking at it. We've responded to every complaint that came in. We've monitored them and logged them so that we know everything.
Did you say 45 minutes?
45 minutes.
So that's 36,000 gallons.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
That's a big pool.
That's like a 20 by 40, I think, pool.
Yep.
What are they doing on Ridge Street with the digging up and putting it? Is that just a drywall they're putting in the street there by the Queensbury? Just north of Queensbury.
On the
They
same
dug-
side of the street or the other
Yeah,
side?
on the same side.
I don't know.
On Maple, you mean? Is that Maple?
Yeah.
With the milling?
Oh,
No,
they-
they dug it. They're done. They dug up. They put. I think it was a vault or some kind of a drywall or something. They put in, repaved around it. Then they were doing one down on Glens Street too.
Well, I
Oh, is
don't-
it the manhole from National Grid goes?
It was
That's
some
what I
kind. It
was
was
gonna
a
say.
contractor. I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
National Grid
I was gonna
Utilities.
say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I know Jeremy probably knows about it because it's not.
I get the encroachments.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's not
utility
sewer and
construction.
water.
Mhm.
So I just, like I said, I wanted to bring that to all everybody's attention in case anybody questions, and just make sure they call us so that we can make a log, so in case there's any pattern. And I know that there was a large number in Councilwoman Palmer's ward, so that they were calling her, and she let us know that that area of her constituency was getting a lot of calls. Okay. B, we're starting our budget process, so we'll be talking about, what we need for this year and where we're heading, and obviously where we sit with this year's budget, and then we'll start preparing for next year, so for the 2024 budget. We have been getting some calls, and I think we've discussed this before, about the septic haulers and the wait times and things like that, and it's not that we don't like septic haulers, it's the fact that we'd like to keep track and make sure our process is going well. And I don't know, Chris, what were we having, 4 or 5 dumps in 20, 25 minutes, and
When we had it down to they could just come in, back when I started, they were running 2,500 gallon tankers. So they're coming in regularly, we'd get 20 tankers at the most. They've all upgraded to 4,500 gallon tankers. And we have more people coming. So we've seen 30 trucks come in at double the volume of what we've seen in the past. And in one day, they turned our entire process black. And it took us a month to recover from it. So we instituted the 1 hour delay between trucks because the volumes are set on these septage. We have a septage hauler that apparently dislikes this. And he has been complaining to Mr. Steck. He's complained to everybody he can complain to. We are governed by the New York State DEC. It's not that we dislike septic haulers, but us receiving septage is something that we do for the area. We do not have to receive septage. There's no requirement for us to accept septage, but we do accept it. To the point where we still meet our permit. We actually had violations caused by all these problems.
that's what we're governed by our speedies permit through
Right,
DEC,
our
through the state.
speedies permit. That's where we came up with this. We lowered it back down to 45 minutes, and finally we've recovered the plan enough where we can do that. But we cannot take the volumes that they want, and due to the new Lake George law, the new Glen Lake law, the new Sunnyside law, the new Halfway Brook law, all these things have to be inspected. Every septic tank has to be inspected every 5 years. Nobody checked with the wastewater plants in the
Yep.
area that we can handle it. So we are dealing it with the only way we know how to and we can, is to limit the amount we receive.
Well, that's one impact. I was gonna say there's two, that's one. The other one is that Lake George no longer takes a lot of septage. Based on their new facilities and the way that it's engineered, they can't take a lot of septage. So it's a trickle down effect that it's coming here. We're taking as much as we can, so then they either have to go to Saratoga and Albany, and that impacts, whether they come here and then impacts their time, or they go there, it impacts their time, and obviously their fuel costs.
One thing we did do is we looked at the numbers for July. I just got them. We received 400,000 gallons less septage than we did previous year. We had raised our rates a little bit. We only lost $6,000 in income. But a real operator bill is $20,000 less.
Right.
So it's
So-
a net 14,000.
You know, we netted between 10 and 14,000. We kept in our budget, for that. Septage costs us money to dispose of. And they were coming so hot and heavy, we actually could not drain our sludge tank in a week. We were losing ground, which is costing us more money on sludge disposal. We were gonna have to stop it anyways. We can't take these volumes.
Not only that, but that also impacts our power, manpower, chemicals. That
Rest,
impacts all of
chemicals,
that.
wear and tear, everything gets affected by it. That's why we've been raising rates. Our rates have gone up 20%. We're gonna go up another 20% next year for disposal. We have to match these rates, or the city of Glens Falls will be covering the cost of septage disposal in the surrounding areas.
So
We should be flipping.
we're looking, I think we're at 7 cents right now. We're looking at going 9 cents.
Looking at 9 cents, I'm also gonna
I mean-
recommend increasing, holding tanks.
What does Saratoga charge?
Saratoga charges 3.5 cents for in-county, but they're going to be raising that rate, I was told, this year. I cannot tell you what it's gonna be. Out of county, I think there's 6 or 7 cents per gallon, and they'll be raising that rate also. But they really just don't want the out-of-county, they only want in-county. I don't
Again,
know what Albany charges,
We're looking at our flow of 4 million gallons, and their flow is,
15 million.
Yeah.
so it doesn't
5
impact
times
them
larger
quite.
than we are in flow.
Their dilution factors.
And they're taking the same amount of septic trucks that we are expected to take when we shut everything down. So we were taking, same as Saratoga, we're 5 times smaller.
Just another point in case anybody gets questioned, because I did get a call from Jeff Flagg this morning. A realtor was asking him, why does the septic hall have to wait 4 hours to dump? So, if we're backed up, then we're backed up.
It kind of burns me that for-profit business has got a problem with the government taxpayer funded, like, sorry, your margins aren't right, but this is the people of the city paying for this.
Have you ever calculated, or is it possible to calculate what it costs to process a gallon?
It's hard to determine because it varies so greatly between what we have coming down through the system and what we have being delivered.
You gotta look at the strength of the
I
waste
really have to
in the
look at
septic
the
hall.
strength, sometimes they're holding tanks, sometimes
I
they're
mean,
septic.
we could do an average probably. I'm sure they're in the textbooks. Give us an average of
Yeah, I mean, to
what it
Chris's,
costs.
to Chris's point, I mean, you're offering something that really is a commodity to private industry that's making money on it. They're assumingly they're passing their costs on to people that are non-residents of the city. I mean, I think you can set whatever rate you want.
Oh, we can set whatever rate we want, but you set it too high, they will not come.
But is that a bad thing?
It helps to have some septage with pressing. It does help the water pressing a little better, but it's not the end all be all. We don't get a lot of septage during the winter, and we run this plant fine.
What
No
about
problem.
some kind of membership thing? Is that a ball of wax you don't want to roll?
You cannot. That question was asked in industrial pretreatment. You cannot really do a ABC company. You're my exclusive septic hauling company. You can't do that legally.
But you couldn't
Not as a
have-
government agency.
You couldn't have like 2 or 3 or 4, a number of spots that could be applied for.
All we can do is sell permits and limit the amount that comes in at times. And if people don't want to deal with the timeframes, they don't buy a permit. And on that note, I do have one septic hauler that is on strike 3. I've dealt with them over the 18 months 3 times, 1 for a major issue, and 2 for not paying bills. I'm going to drop them
Yeah, that sounds like a
and open it up for somebody else that would pay the bill.
Yeah.
It just takes up our time. They came in and wanted to negotiate the price. And I turned around and said, yeah, you can pay me that plus the extra, so it's only equals X, to come back. And we have been applying penalties. and we can apply drastic penalties, 10% per month you're late. We understand some of these companies, but his comment was, we don't have the money, and I said, well, you did collect the money from your haulers, and that was the end of the conversation. You know, you bought it, you got it from someplace, I'm sure you collected the money from them. So, but I will be driving it probably when I return from vacation, if they have not paid.
Yeah.
How many haulers are there, Chris?
Really, we've got about 6 to 7 steady companies, but we've probably got 20 permits, 25 permits out there. But those 6 companies are the main ones that come here. And those are the ones that we work with.
Did you ever find out who was dumping? Wasn't there an issue in West Glens Falls? Okay. You can work that.
I don't want to make any.
Yes. I never thought about it.
All right, we'll move on to personnel. A couple months ago, we picked up an operator from Washington County, and last week we lost an operator from Washington County. So we broke even for right now. So we're down one operator. We've talked to Julie Villa-White. We'll be scheduling interviews. We've got a couple names. So hopefully we'll be hiring someone here shortly. And also under personnel, I don't know if anybody knows him, he never says anything, just sits in the back with his hat on. Christian Scaler, our Assistant Chief Operator, just passed his 4A exam, which is
Congratulations.
the highest certification given by the state of Connecticut. State of Connecticut, sorry, state of New York. See, that's where I come in, you know. But I wanted to congratulate Christian on that.
That's great.
We're carrying we have 3 people with 4A licenses here. That's not very common.
We had one forever.
We had one forever, now we have 3.
That's great.
So it's great. That way, if one of us, somebody does get sick or something, we have backups.
Thanks.
With that, that's all I have. If anybody else has anything? I don't think David, we have anything for executive
Nope,
session?
nothing for
Okay.
executive session.
So, with that, the next proposed meetings are, the workshop will be August 21st, on Monday, the 21st at 2 o'clock, and the regular water and sewer board will be Tuesday, September 5th, obviously, because 4th is Labor Day. With that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So,
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
All right, thank you.